Testing. Looks like we got sound, got camera, got some lights. Action. What's up, Holy Ones? Thank you for coming here today in this transmission of spirit as we talk about the Illuminati. What are they really? Sure, there's all kinds of ideas and opinions about these secret societies, these Illuminati, supposed illuminated ones. So we're going to actually be going into that, but from the Emerald Order point of view. And I will mention some of the things that a lot of other sources, talk about these groups, these secret societies. There's some things that we've seen in movies, like Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise. Because this is a controversial topic. So I don't even use the hashtag Illuminati because it's one of those censored ones. It's not allowed. So, you can put it, but it's not going to show up under your video. That's censorship. So, I don't even bother advertising this posting this on my Instagram or Facebooks, just in case there's any issues. But this channel, my YouTube channel, has been demonetized a few months ago now. So what are they going to do? So I can't lose my money, become demonetized again. So anyways, this is more about what we would call the super ancient Illuminati. Okay, this goes into, you would say, coming out of a much more ancient timeline that we've been told. For example, most people think, or that mainstream archaeology, history, say that society or civilization hasn't been around for only since ancient Sumer. They say, or they believe that, or think that's the most ancient period of time where humans started, which is only like 5,000 years ago, maybe 6,000, possibly. When we talk about the different cultures in Mesopotamia, that would include Sumer, and then other cultures developed after that into, like Akkad, Assyria, Babylon. And so but in actuality, the truth is, our society, our civilization started a lot longer ago, much, much more ancient time period. We're talking millions of years. And so there has been Illuminati people, you could call them that, since millions of years ago in Atlantis, in Human Seeding 1. So this topic is more of a ancient aliens, Emerald Covenant type of context. Okay, so we're talking about a much, much older timeline, and we're also talking about the influence of extraterrestrials when it comes to the Illuminati. And these teachings, the innerchristos law of one teachings, the Emerald Order teachings, they don't call them the Illuminati. They call them the Leviathan. Like Levi, the Levites, but Leviathan. Okay? And this is a 25-year-old book. It's a few hundred pages, almost 600 pages long, by the Emerald Covenant, by Ashanadin, translated by Ashanadin. But the authors are the guardians. And so there is a whole different time period of humans, you guys. And technically, the Illuminati started hundreds of millions of years ago, where humans originally started, which is planet Tara. If you guys remember the history talked about in Voyagers 2, there was a cataclysm on Tara. It was caused by the Illuminati. And at that time, they were called the Templar Solar Initiates. Templar Solar Initiates. And they took over Atlantis. And so they changed everything in Atlantis. They changed religion. They gave us sexist patriarchies. And it wasn't like that. There was no issues or imbalances with gender. That came through the influence of these fallen angelic, well, that's what the Guardians call them, fallen angelic Anunnaki factions, because there's more than one. And my body of work demonstrates the different species. I've counted over 14, 15 different Anunnaki species in the Voyagers books and the Emerald Order teachings, and all the video workshops. And I'm assuming there's more than that, but those are the main ones that are involved in the human drama. In other words, the Illuminati are part of our human drama for millions, hundreds of millions of years. Because we are the angelic humans are us, so they've really been around since the ancient Atlantis of Tara, planet Tara, in the 5th dimension. Now, it's an interesting thing, and I'll be discussing that, is that there is 4 different Atlantises and Lemurias. I'm talking about 4 different timelines, because it involves hybrid seeding on Earth. And the first seeding was, first of all, the cataclysm happened in Tara, so that's where it happened first. And then the seeding happened, the first seeding, that's why it's called Human Seeding 1, happened 25 million years ago. And then the second seeding was a few million years ago. And the one that we're in now, Human Seeding 3, started 800,000 plus years ago. So I'm just giving some context before we get into tonight's topic. Let me confirm that you guys can see me and hear me okay in the chat. Can you guys see me and hear me okay? So I just want to make sure, got my candle. Let me get the incense going on, guys, as I get that confirmation in chat. Get my incense going on, which is spiritual hygiene, and helps with protection within your space, within your light body. You co-create with this frequency, this energy. Plus, you also do your prayer, to the Blue Flame Emerald Order. And also, protection, and the Maharic Seal, and all of that. But this is one of the things that I know is very effective in your light body, in your protection too. Might as well have, stack different things for that same purpose. So, and I will say one shocking thing. Some of you already know, but for some people who may be new to this topic or this channel, this may be very shocking to you. The Illuminati. The Illuminati are not humans. They're hybrid humans. That means they're part something else. Extraterrestrial. It's not human anymore. Now it's something else. And like I said a little while ago, the Guardians called these Leviathan. Okay, so it's basically a term where these ETs are taking our human DNA and combining it with their own DNA. And like I said, there's 15 different factions mentioned in these teachings. So each one of these factions are literally making their own Illuminati Leviathan hybrid species on Earth. So, and I'll get into what most of the people researching the Illuminati say. They think it's only from the 1700s. I just told you a much greater, bigger timeline. Millions. No, it's not limited to Rockefellers or Rothschilds. Okay? There's ancient Egyptians Illuminatis. There's ancient Atlantean Illuminati families. Okay? There's many different family lines. Every one of these major powers in the world have their own Illuminati bloodlines. The ones who are truly in power. The ones who are controlling the financial system. The ones who are bringing you kings and queens, pharaohs, emperors, who are bringing you presidents and CEOs. Okay? These are your rulers. They are elitists. They are hybrid bloodlines. This is why most of them are racist, because they think their bloodline is more superior, more elite to your human mudbloods. You know, a Harry Potter term. So, this is a big thing that is happening throughout our forbidden history. We say forbidden because you're only taught what I just explained a little while ago, some truncated history of only a few thousand years. That is asinine. That is funny. It's absurd and ridiculous to think that we're only been around for that long. Okay? So part of our awakening is learning this forbidden history as taught in the Emerald Order teaching, starting with these Voyagers books, like we have Voyagers 1 and Voyagers 2. Okay? Now, these are out of print. You have to get them on used for scalped prices, or you get the free downloads, the digital version of these, the PDFs. And so these are the ones, 3 that started this teaching, but you can also, there are also a lot more information in the Ashiana Dean video workshops, which I have some of those workshops in my members area. If you want to become one of my Patreon members, you can find them online. Maybe you can, because of this information. These books, these teachings are being censored. There be a lot of channels who uploaded these videos have been taken down. This is why I don't upload the videos to my channel, because I tried it before and I got 2 strikes on my channel. No thank you. So I removed all those videos, put them in my membership off of YouTube on Patreon. So if you guys really want to see these censored teachings, become a member of my Patreon. These videos starting from $33 and up. No, actually avatar level. So that's $20 and up. So you guys, and throughout this live, we're giving you the free links. There's no paywall here. That's to help support my work, because this is my paycheck. Doing this, working for you 100 plus hours a week, 7 days a week. I don't take weekends off. I'm still working. If you're a regular, you see me posting videos every single day, sometimes 2 videos a day. So this is how I support myself, by having a members area for those of you who want to support my work. Because no longer am I getting 1 single penny from YouTube. If you notice on my channel, there is no more commercials on any of my videos. Mostly it's because YouTube changed its rules and guidelines, and it's probably because of my Anunnaki videos, or it's just because of my AI videos. They say it's not qualified to have advertising on it. So this is why I rely on you guys and your donations. Thank you so much. Now, we'll be talking about some of the things that the most people think about the Illuminati, which is not even really the full picture, because the full picture is much more ancient, much more profound. Okay, because we're talking about alien extraterrestrials, what the Guardians call fallen angels. Okay, malevolent extraterrestrials, dark, twisted, distorted beings who have brought us these false creeds, false teachings, false light teachings, inverted teachings, not to mention all of the things they're doing behind the scenes, which my channel has exposed a lot of those things. And also these Voyagers books expose it a lot more than I do. They talk about a lot more than I do, you guys. So I'm just one person trying to make as many videos and trying to inform you as much as you can. But if you want to learn all of it, I encourage you to go into these teachings, into these books to start. This is just the beginning. These are 25 years old. And there's workshops from 1998. It's 2026. There's workshops from 1998, 1999. There's workshops in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, all the way up. There's these 3 hours, 10 hours, 21-hour workshops. It's a huge tome of spiritual knowledge. Machiwa. And so, let me say hi to chat, and we'll get into the main topic. We have Indigo Gal. Thank you, Star Sister, for being here. Thank you for being one of my moderators. Thank you for your service. Bless you, dear. We got Samuel Sanchez. I love you, Holy One. Omni love, man. Unconditional love. Thank you for holding space with us here tonight, Samuel. Machia? Machiavellian. That's what it means. Sorry, it almost said Machiwa. Machiavellian 777. Hello, friends. Sander Payment. Hello, Machiwa. Thank you, Star Sister, for being here and holding space with us. Bless you, and thank you for all of those positive energies you always bring. You said it. Chiwa. Machiwa. 100%. Indigo Gal 144. Dula. I already said Indigo Gal. Sorry. Dula the Lionheart 83. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Got the Lyran energy going on. Thank you for sharing the Voyagers, Indigo Gal. The time is 3:33. Now remember the Freemasons, the 33 degrees, but we go 3:33. Sorry if you can hear the energy out there. Charlene, Holly, thank you for being here, sister. Good to see you. Much respect. I'm a Contreras 919 in the house, sending positive vibes. Good to have you here. Kirsten Loves, what's up, sister? One of our other moderators. Giannis won't be here. She's returning back from Costa Rica. She had family there. Someone invited her there, so that's how she got there. Now she's coming back. So much protect Julia, Giannis, and her voyage home with her son. Blessings to them. Safe passage. Protection. Love. Gratitude. Machiwa? So you guys, let me see here. I mean, because before we go into the Emerald Lord teachings, you guys, I just want to first clarify what most mainstream sources say about the Illuminati. Because the word itself is older and more layered than most people realize. And like I said, we call it the Leviathan. Leviathan. And so you will see that word in these books, throughout the books and the videos. So, now the mainstream starting point is in Bavaria. That's goes back to 1776. What was the Declaration of Independence signed? Most mainstream, historical sources trace the Bavarian Illuminati to around May 1st, 1776. Founded by Adam, I forget how to pronounce his name, Weishaupt in Bavaria. This was an Enlightenment, era secret society, connected to ideas of reason, anti-monarchy and anti-clericalism and political reform. So they weren't getting along with the mainstream. But Britannica says this group, most people mean when they talk about the Illuminati historically, that's what they say is the beginning, the Bavarian Illuminati. But you guys, the Guardians don't even mention the Bavarians or the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. Okay, we're talking about the pharaohs who are Illuminati. Okay, some of the Sumerian kings and rulers were Illuminati. Remember what I said? What they are? Hybrid aliens, human alien hybrids, and so, who cares? But there is some significance to these families. Who are they really connected to? All the way up the generations, all the way up to Atlantis. The Snake Brotherhood Kings. Do you see that in mainstream talking about it? They don't talk about the different ones that we've talked about. And so, and they don't go back that far. They go to Europe. But what about ancient Egypt? What about, Sumer? What about Babylon? What about those Illuminati lines? So most begin in 1776. But my kitty cat, she's begging for food. She's gonna have to wait. So there's also something called Spanish alumbrados. I got to disconnect. Okay, you guys, my OBS disconnected and reconnected. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Let me check my internet speed test to see if it's me or if it's YouTube. Interesting, huh? Get some disconnects. Let's see if I'm actually having internet connections issues. A 260 megabytes. There's nothing wrong with my internet. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Thank you, Indigo Gal. Yeah. So, my internet connection is fine. It's working. So, it looks like I burned through all that frankincense already. A little bit more. So, there's a list of different, points in history that people can point to. Some of these families. And some of these families are in power now. Are in places of power, different countries. Most of these people in power are going to be in these secret societies, in these orders. Okay, and so it's a rigged game. It's They control who goes into power. You have to be one of these hybrids, ET human hybrids. Otherwise, you're going to be an enemy of all these secret family societies, you know? So, sorry, I got so many windows open. We have Freemasonry and the secret society symbolism, cultural terms such as, some of them I can't even pronounce, but Alumbrados Perfectibilis Illuminatenarden, that's German, Order of the Illuminati. Rosicrucians, Rosy Cross, mystical esoteric streams. Martinus, mystery schools, broader term, you know, for initiatory systems of hidden knowledge. Esoteric orders, occult brotherhoods. You notice all this stuff is secretive, in the shadows. So this is not what we're covering. Just some of you were maybe thinking of that as modern narratives, but that's not the narratives that we're going much deeper, much more ancient. And of course, these bloodlines are still alive unless someone wiped one of these families all out. Okay? And so this is, I've talked about hybrids before on my channel. I have hundreds of videos about these beings. And I have, if you're not aware of it, I have an Anunnaki video series. I'm up to number 50 now. And I have established a few of those from the Voyagers books, there's a few just in Atlantis. There's a few there's several in ancient Egypt. I mean, there's some in Babylon, Akkad, Assyria, Sumer. They're throughout history. They didn't stop, and I'll show you all the different ones that they're associated with. Just understand this, you guys. If these are hybrid, some of these extraterrestrials created these hybrids to be their representatives, their puppets on Earth. So, yeah, these people in the cabal, people call it the cabal, or, the deep state. They think they're the ones in power, but they're just the puppets for the real beings that are in power, which are their lords. Their overlords. The Illuminati's overlords are the actual extraterrestrials. You have Inky Anunnaki. They created Illuminati hybrids on Earth. The Enlil created Illuminati hybrids on Earth. The Marduk created Illuminati families on Earth. The Pleiadian Luciferian created Illuminati families on Earth. You see what I'm getting at? There's many different Anunnaki, reptilian, Illuminati, hybrid, extraterrestrial factions, family lines, bloodlines throughout history. Not just the freaking Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. Give me a break. Expand your awareness, because that's what we're doing tonight. So, it's like a military strategy. This is how they can, these extraterrestrials who they may be humanoids, but they don't look exactly like humans. For example, the Inky Anunnaki have scales on their skin. You're going to know they're an alien. You're going to know they're not exactly human. So they don't need to show up and be here like they did a long time ago. They did. They landed in their spaceships. Okay? But now they can just make these hybrids that have already were made. A long time ago they were made. Okay? And then there's a whole history of them. A whole generations of these beings. This is why planet Earth is being ruled by fallen angelics. We were conquered. We were taken over. But we're not in Phantom Earth because there still is white hats, good guys, guardians, behind the scenes, also fighting back. And there are some in my channel. I talk about the secret space program, and some of those are legitimately, some of those groups, a few of them, want actual real disclosure to happen. Obviously, they're getting through because some of the disclosure is coming out now publicly, being led by Trump and the United States, releasing it publicly, out in the open. Alien disclosure, UFO disclosure, no joke. And but the problem is they're trickling it out, letting a little bit out. You don't see the whole picture. It will shock you, and that's probably why they're not showing the whole picture right now. But it started. Will they actually start talking about some of these figures behind, who are actual naming of people who are in the Illuminati groups? See, we don't rely on that, right? A lot of people are doing their own research. There's a lot of people talking about revealing, exposing the Illuminati. But not from an extraterrestrial point of view. They're not humans. Okay, you can name the famous Rockefellers and Rothschilds. They are not human beings. And why do you think a lot of these people in power are being, there's theories. There's conspiracy theories that they're reptilian or something else. And people have witnessed or seen them shapeshift or transmorg or whatever you call it. So, they can't hide it from everybody because there are people who have extrasensory perceptions who can see through their illusion, through their shape-shift form. You can see a soul's true identity, who they really are. When you go to some of these conferences, you can see from your astral vision, you can see what's really in their energy. You can see reptilian eyes. You can see an energy being inside their field. So they can't fool everybody. And this is exactly why they target the indigo children, the starseeds of our planet, who have these extrasensory abilities. You can't fool everybody. They're not fooling everybody. So that's why there's people, exposing these people and these fallen angels, these hybrid beings. Because the earth is under takeover. It's in spiritual bondage, you guys. When we have billions of human beings worshiping all of these negative, dark, twisted, extraterrestrial gods, they're not gods, but all these humans are calling them God. All these humans, there's 2 billion humans, Christians, who are worshiping the demon, the fallen angel, Yahweh. The Christians call it Father God, but it has a name. This wicked being of consciousness is called Yahweh. Some cultures call it Jehovah. Same frequency, same beings, same lineage, same bloodlines. A lot of these Anunnaki bloodlines are going through the Yahweh bloodline, are coming through the Metatron bloodline. I've made hundreds of videos about this. Have you seen and scrolled through my channel? Scroll through my channel. I have literally made hundreds of videos about these beings, about these topics. And I'm not done. I have over 800,000, almost a million, okay? Going closer and closer to 1 million subscribers. there's over 330,000. It just churned. It was 333,000 on my Instagram, and soon to be on my Facebook, 300,000 eventually. It's like 292,000 right now. almost 200,000, no, 200,000 plus on TikTok, 120,000 plus on YouTube, almost a million. Okay, I have made 1,500 videos plus. So this is not a new topic on my platform. So, but it's all based on the Emerald Order teachings. This is not my personal opinion or my personal research. This is coming out of the Emerald Order teachings. And I'm going to be showing you these on the screen. Because you need to see, I'm transparent, and I want you to see the Guardians talking about it. And you will see all those immature trolls who come on my channel and say I'm making shit up. I'm not making anything up. My teachings are not my personal opinions. They're the Emerald Order teachings. A super ancient Guardians from the fifth density, fifth universe. Okay? So this is coming from a positive source that is based on the sacred universal law of one and the innerchristos, direct vertical connection to source. And so it isn't one of these new age groups or channeled information. This is coming from technology, holographic disc records. There's actual literal physical records of these teachings, not some freaking cuneiform tablet from Sumer or ancient Egypt. Okay, this goes way beyond millions of years, billions of years. So that's how ancient the Guardians are. So the actual Voyager's books say they're 950 billion years old. That's when this whole entire multiverse was created, 950 billion years ago. And they're in cycles. So eventually it'll hit a few trillion years old and then start a new time matrix. They go in cycles, just like our universes go in cycles. Our density universe 1 cycle, holographic universe 1, is 26,556 years repeating cycle. It gets to the end of that 26,000 years, it will start a new life, new consciousness, and within the 26,556 year period. So these are all repeating cycles. There's time continuums. There's time vectors. So there is reference to time, even though time doesn't exist. There's reference to time within the hologram. So, so this topic is super ancient, you guys. These beings are ancient, and humans were created originally as a guardian race. In the fifth dimension, that's where we were originally seated. We were following the law of one. We did have perfect bodies. We were living, we were immortal. We were giants, very tall, super tall, compared to us. Little midgets, 6 feet tall or smaller, generally, mostly, right? So, this is why we're attacked. This is why we have these fallen angels, these races of malevolent extraterrestrials attacking the angelic humans. This is why our planet is under attack. This is why we're under siege. We have they have underground bases. So the ETs are here, but they're hidden. But the hybrid ET humans, alien human ETs, are out in the open, walking amongst us, looking like us. It took them a while to create their hybrids to look just like us, to blend in with us. They're blending in Asian communities, Latino communities, African communities, in Europe communities, okay, in the Native American communities, okay, they represent white skin, black skin, red skin, yellow skin, brown skin. Okay, they have their representatives. The Illuminati are in power in every continent, in every nation. They are in control. The aliens, extraterrestrials, are in control, but they haven't completely taken us over because there still is resistance. There still is indigos awakening and starseeds awakening and some humans, angelic humans awakening. So they haven't taken completely over. They can't because there's other extraterrestrial groups who also have UFOs and weapons, offensive or defensive. There's also lineages here of indigos and starseed lineages. So they haven't, it's not hopeless. We still are in conflict, but they are winning. They kicked our asses in parallel Earth. They took us over they used, and this is parallel Earth. And in parallel Earth, they have Illuminati. In parallel Earth, they have CERN. Okay? They did this. They have HARP in parallel Earth too. We have it here. It's parallel. So we have a lot of similar stuff. So it worked over there. What they're doing here, it worked, and they took over. They murdered us and took us over in human seeding 1. That was the Anunnaki. They killed us and wiped us out in human seeding 2 with the help of the reptilians and the Nephilim. So it was Nephilim, it was the Anunnaki and the reptilians in human seeding 2. And now here we are in human seeding 1. Oh, it's 3, sorry. Human seeding 1, gone. Human seeding 2, gone. Now human seeding 3. And they already got the same stuff. They got CERN, they got HARP, they got the Illuminati factions. They want to do Project Bluebeam. They got the all part of the cabal and the what people call, people call them different things. But like the deep state. David Wilcock was talking about the deep state. Look what happened to him. Bless our brother David Wilcock, but he's gone. People speak out about this, and so this is an ongoing conflict, extraterrestrial conflict. Just realize that these Illuminati people are aliens, part human, but they're freaking not human. Okay? As soon as you have a different DNA template, you're not the human DNA template, are you? You're not human. Humans are humans. Something that's part Anunnaki is not human. Something that's part reptilian is not human. Because you guys, the Guardians make hybrids too, but they're positive and Law of One based and Omni-Love based, trying to help and assist. Those other hybrids are not trying to help and assist. And by the way, this also explains why there's so many different blood types on planet Earth. If you follow the mainstream narrative, they say and their BS, yes, their bullshit science. If you're following the mainstream bullshit science, you're not getting the facts, you're not getting the truth. That's intentional. They are distorting your spiritual religions and spiritual beliefs. Now you have a bunch of distorted false light teachings. They also distort your sciences. Now you can't figure it all out. You're not going to figure it all out. And the people that have, you remember there was a whole bunch of microbiologists that were murdered? Check. There's research there. You can find the articles there. There was a whole bunch of people who did find out. There is indigo scientists, starseed scientists, who have a multidimensional perspective, who can figure stuff out on their own. We are figuring stuff out on our own. The Guardians are also helping us with that. So we have different sources, you guys, that we rely on. But not everyone's awake. A lot of humans are sleeping. They don't, even though, because it's fresh, it's recent. I'm talking about from last month, where the disclosure has come out from the United States and our President Trump. Now, and some of the, he commanded that these three-letter alphabets released what they have, but it's going to be trickled out. It's going to be progressive. They're not going to dump it. There's reasons why they don't want it dumped. They don't want all disclosure. They're not going to tell you everything about UFOs and everything about the aliens, because that includes free energy. Free energy. They don't want free energy. They don't want free energy. It's about free energy. Understand? They also don't want you to have med beds and to heal your diseases and cancers. They make tons of money in pharmaceuticals and the medical industries. And fossil fuels, dinosaur, ancient fuels, man. We're in the dinosaur ages. We're in the dark ages. When these technologies exist, free energy exists. This is why they don't want you to know everything about the disclosure and aliens and UFOs, because it will bring up the topic of free energy and cures. Did you notice that the FDA makes it illegal? It's illegal to claim something can cure you. And they will deny your patents. They're not going to give you a registered patent if you're saying something cures cancer or diseases or whatever. They don't want you, and they're in power. So since they're in power and they're running all these three-letter alphabets, and they're in control of the financial system, they're in control of your spirituality and religion, they're telling you what you're going to be running your energy and what your history really is. The conquerors rewrite history. You're not getting true history. You're not getting real science. You're not getting real, all of these healing technologies, it's like science fiction, you guys. These are reportedly 50 years, 100 years, thousands of years, like different things are so far advanced of what the mainstream is aware of what most 8 billion humans are aware of. We're sincerely, those of us awakening are sincerely a tiny, tiny, small percent of beings on Earth. When we say awakening, what do you think you mean by awakening? Awakening has many different levels. So what actually do you mean by awakening? Do you think learning about the Epstein files is awakening? That's a little bit. There's so much to actual understanding about aliens, UFOs, spiritual ascension and awakening, the guardians, the negative beings and races, all the things, the atrocities they've done throughout history. There's so much to awakening, not just some little news stories. And you'll see a lot of people get all excited about those little stuff. But their paradigm is still so small. It's still thinking that some people think we live in a flat earth. And there will be somebody in the comments right now, since I said it, they're going to say, oh, we do live in a flat earth. That is a psyop given to you by the secret space program. Because if you're not looking beyond the stupid ass flat earth, then you're not going to look at the secret space program. It doesn't exist. You see how that works? The people in the secret space program gave you the psyop that we live in a flat earth. Now you don't think there is any space programs. They literally tell you there is no missions to the moon, or there is nothing in space. There is no planets. They think everything is just about Earth. The entire universe is Earth and the wall and just beyond the poles and it's it's a joke. It's kindergarten mentality. It's little children who believe in flat earth. We have round planets. We have spaceships. We have secret space programs that have built out our solar system, man. We have bases on moons, on other planets, on asteroid belts. We are going through portals and stargates to other galaxies with also round planets and meeting other extraterrestrial races. Many of your technologies that remember, you're only getting a tiny bit of the actual technology. Your amazing technologies that you do have are coming from the secret space programs. That's where they release some low-level tech. Because they're 50, hundreds, thousands of years way above us. So they're going to give you some old shit. You're going to get some old tech. But to us, that's amazing. You see what I'm saying? See how that works? They're always going to be hundreds of steps ahead. What you see in the news, oh, look at the weather balloon. That technology is crap technology. That's punk ass technology. Okay? We get to just have punk ass technologies. We don't get the actual real cure cancer type of technologies, free energy type of technologies. Okay? They can replicate food. There's food replicators. It's in the science fiction. It's also in reality. I should have just a live talking about all the technologies that actually exist, that they can actually do. So like I said, you guys, my channel was demonetized. I'm going to check on the donations. You guys, please donate to my channel. $5, $10, $25, $40, $50, $60, whatever you feel called to. Because that's how I survive. That's how I keep bringing you this content. Thank you, guys. So let me check that. Georgina, Star Sister, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for always being here regularly. You're a huge blessing. Thank you, Georgina. Guys, only one donation. Please donate to your brother Anhazi. Because this is how I survive. I know there's some of you out there who can help me out tonight. Thank you so much for that. Now let me check for questions. Kirsten, if anyone has a question, please write it on Instagram, please. Okay, so yeah, let me refresh the screen. Just some older message from Julia, so nothing from Kirsten yet. So, okay, no questions. You guys, remember, if you didn't know that, you got to please highlight or tag Christos Avatar TV in your message. So, just let me look on chat here. Magi Celine in the house. Stardust Goddess in the house. Woohoo! Thank you so much, ladies. All the Divine Feminine in the house. 4 ladies in the house. That's not like planned. It just happened that way. Like we do have Starman, and he's usually behind the scenes, but he doesn't really talk and chat much. There's also Sir Madism, but he doesn't come all the time, and that's okay. You guys don't have to come all the time. And then there's Indigo Wizard used to be part of the group too, so we did have men too. It's just usually it's the women who are more regular. So Atlantis, yeah, you said it, Brandon Smith. Atlantis is where we were most technologically advanced. And I made videos about Atlantis and even the Anunnaki in Atlantis. And one of my latest videos is already strong on Instagram. I get like hundreds of thousands of views, sometimes millions of views on my Instagram account and Facebook accounts. But yeah, I started talking about that how most people don't understand. Most people think that the ancient cultures and societies were more primitive. Of course, we've had civilizations rise and fall, rise and fall. So some of those times where we were risen in technology, it was space age technology. Atlantis was space age technology. We had teleportation technology. We had free energy technology. No problem. But you don't know that anymore because that was all been destroyed, sunken down to the ocean, and also a lot of the stuff was actually picked up, cleared of proof, of evidence. They purposely did that, man. These ETs and their advanced technologies were covering up stuff, taking stuff off, and removing it. And it's even mentioned in Voyagers they did that. They went out of their way. Of course, they didn't get everything, but they went out of their way to remove as much as they could. And they will continue. You notice the people in power will deny that aliens and UFOs exist. Let me show you my 15-dimensional time matrix diagram. Let me bring that up. Let me close all these windows first. Machiwa. How are you doing, Holy Ones? Write it in the comments. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so let me find this 15-dimensional time matrix diagram. What's up, Vato Locos? I'll find it eventually. There it is. Open with and I actually might be able to show you some of the hybrids that I created in my Anunnaki series. Or what, you guys can see the videos too, but so let me bring that up. Okay, this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, and this shows the multiverse, which is a hologram field, a hologram of matter. Remember I told you 950 billion years? That's how old the first living beings were in this time matrix. So it's super ancient. And notice it says 15 dimensions. That's 15 different realities within our multiverse. This is one reality. There's another reality, third reality. There's all these different realities and timelines. Okay? And so this is part of my way to be able to explain to you where these beings are coming from, because it starts with fallen angels. Illuminati, the topic and the context is within the context of fallen angels. Because you know all the horrible things that the Illuminati is known for. Well, that's why. Because they're freaking fallen angelics. Coming to you, they're extraterrestrials coming to our planet throughout history. And so one of the fallen bloodlines is the Anu, which is the Anu Elohim. The Anu Elohim bloodline. Remember, these are 11th dimensional extraterrestrials. What you call avatars. Avatars. They're dark avatars. They're in the Phantom Matrix. Dark avatars. 11th dimensional, 10th dimensional. And so they're called the Anu Elohim, Jehovah Anunnaki. And there's Omicrons. So it's mostly the Jehovians and Omicrons and the races they created. Like the Omicron created the Dracon. The Omicron created the Dracon. And the Dracon created the Dracos. Oh, I'm surprised I don't put it there. I should have put it there. Actually, I'm making a personal note to put that on the diagram. Add Dracos. This will be my 2026 time matrix diagram update. Add Dracos to the... Okay. Sorry, if I didn't do that, I would forget. So, we have bloodlines, Anunnaki bloodlines coming out of the Anu Elohim. We have reptilian bloodlines coming out of Omicron and some the Odedicron. Omicron and Odedicron. They're both reptilian type races. This one's specifically part insectoid and dinoid, which is dinosaur. Dinosaur, insectoid, mixed with reptilian, that makes Omicron and their bloodline. This is just a winged, they're both winged actually, but this one's avian reptilian. So they're going to have bird and reptilian futures. So actually, let me pull that up. Omicron. Remember, these are fallen angels, man. Malevolent extraterrestrials. Omicron, dragon moths. They're the fathers of the dragons, Dracons. Okay? These are wicked beings, man. And these are the ones that fought with the Anu Elohim. Let me show you the Anu Elohim. Anu Elohim, 1 second. This is the Anu Elohim. So the Anu Elohim was fighting with the Dracon. I mean the Omicron. Let me close out. I didn't mean to close that one out. Anyways, I got this one. Omicron. And it is the one, this is the one that a lot of other, they created a lot of other races. Dragon races, and there's Dracos races, Draco, whatever. All reptilians came out of this. And Odedicron, actually Odedicron too. I keep saying Omicron only, but they're also the Dedicrons, which are more like gargoyle type. And remember, I told you they're part bird, so they have bird energy. I gotta make sure you guys can see this okay in chat. Let me refresh my screen. Yeah, okay, you guys can see it okay. Okay, just making sure. So the Odedicron are avian reptilians, and the Omicron are insectoid dinoid. What was it from the time matrix? Sorry guys, I got so many windows open. I'm trying to keep it all straight. Oh, okay. The time matrix. Oh, insectoid dino reptiles and avian reptilians. So these are the ones I just showed you pictures of. And then I showed you the Anu Elohim, the ones who created the Jehovian Anunnaki bloodlines. But so that's the same bloodline. The highest bloodline of the reptilian, the Anunnaki is the Anu Elohim. The highest of the reptilians are the Omicron and the Dedicron. So Omicron, dragon moths, versus the Anu Elohim, feline aquatic apes. Feline aquatic apes, see their feline eyes, their feline nose, their apish looking faces. aquatic features. Their skin is aquatic, ears are aquatic, but they're hybrids. They're mixed. So the Anu Elohim versus the Omicron Dragon Boss, and they make a bunch of ETs, and those lower ETs make hybrids, Illuminati hybrids on Earth. Because they're not going to show up to you in the city. They're not going to walk down the street. You're going to notice them. That's not what they want. You know, the Illuminati, or I mean, these beings all work in the shadow. Okay, they're about secrecy. They're about manipulation. So they're tricking you, but we're exposing their tricks. We're exposing their history. We're exposing their races, their people. Okay? They bring us darkness. The guardians bring us light. We're bringing light on these and exposing these beings that have been hiding in the shadows in secrecy and their secret societies. We're exposing the secret societies. We're exposing these presidents and queens and kings and emperors. We're naming them. We're pointing at them. We're exposing them. We're bringing disclosure on them. So let's look at the Anu Elohim. These feline aquatic apes. They made the Jehovah's Anunnaki. So I'm giving you the lineage of Illuminati here. So I just, let me see if I can find Jehovah's Anunnaki in my huge computer database. Jehovah's Anunnaki, dolphin people. Dolphin people. I'm going to make a video about these guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. Dolphin people. This is what the original Anunnaki are. You know, that has something to do with water, the Anu Elohim. They're water-based, they're aquatic apes. And they make aquatic beings like dolphin people. Now you take this dolphin people and you mix it with humans. And you get Nephilim. So let me show you Nephilim. Nephilim, Anunnaki, the giants. Actually, sorry, there's the Jehovah's and there's something called, I'm getting it mixed up. There's something called Syrian Anunnaki. So the Jehovah's made hybrids with humans. No, wait, I'm getting mixed up more. So the Syrians are not, they're coming from Sirius A. Syrian, they have green skin, according to the Guardians. And they're the ones that went to Atlantis. Oh, come on, what's the deal? There we go. What the shit? Give me a break already, right? Syrian Anunnaki, no, they're not black people. They're green skin. Oh, shit. Because some people say this ridiculous stuff. They're not black, they're freaking green. And then the Inky Anunnaki are freaking beige or tan. Let me show you Inky Anunnaki. You see the difference in this one? They're not the same. And these ones are reptilian scaled. These ones are not scaled. I mean, these ones are not. But they both are described. Both the Syrian Anunnaki and the Inky Anunnaki. Oh, wait. That's the same. Sorry. I have too many races open. Let me close some of them. Let me close this one. I still can't see it with the F. Okay. So you have the Syrian Anunnaki. These are insectoid reptilian serpents. Snake people, but they're not snake people. They've been described as snake people because they got scales like snakes, but they're not snake people, but they're, in quotes, you know, snake people. Because people describe what they look like, and they look like snakes or whatever. And then there's the Enlil Anunnaki. So even the Enlil Anunnaki have made Illuminati factions on planet Earth This is this is a Enlil. They look more reptilian. And let me see if I go back to my. Let me close some of these because I can only fit so many. Oh my gosh, dude. I can only fit so much, so I have to go up to where the time matrix diagram is. So we have Inky Anunnaki, humanoid, insectoid, reptilian serpents. Enlil is scaled reptilian hominid. Scaled reptilian hominid. Scaled reptilian. No insectoid. Scaled reptilian. Okay? Not a dragon. Not a Dracos. Okay? Not an Omicron. This is a hybrid Anunnaki called Enlil. Because people, you know, let me go back to the camera for a second. If people, it is so irresponsible. It is so ignorant to use the word reptilian and not even know which reptilian you're talking about. And I saw Emery Smith from the Secret Space Program, whistleblower. He talks about this. He's like, you know, frustrated. I'm frustrated that people have this. What is it? Just they don't have the ability to expand their mind and realize there's many, many different Anunnaki. There's many, many different reptilians. But you say the word in chat in some video comment, oh, the reptilians. What freaking reptilians are you talking about? You don't even know what reptilian you're talking about. Because you're just clueless. You understand that there's trillions of stars and there's a couple trillion galaxies, and out of all those galaxies, trillions of galaxies, each one has trillions of stars. All those have different planets. All those planets have different. I mean, each solar system star has several different planets. How many reptilians? How many Anunnaki? You're trying to have a conversation with someone who just uses these broad terms and think you're talking about the same freaking thing. We're not talking about the same thing, homie. Your vocabulary needs to get bigger, little child, because we're talking like children still. There's millions, probably billions of different reptilians. Which one, which nation, which species, which race are you talking about? You don't even know. You just know this idea of reptilians, Anunnaki. I'm categorically going through the zoology, taxonomy, so you understand and have an appreciation that there's all different kinds of freaking reptilians that are conquering us. Wake the F up, people. Get the F out of the Zachariah Ascension little bubble. Because there's more. Much, much, much more. Chikas Masul. This is Inky and there's Enlil. And what about the other one, Marduk? Let's look at Marduk. Another reptilian out of billions of different reptilians. Which one are you talking about? This is a Marduk. Marduk. They're mostly insectoids. If you look, let's look on my diagram. Remember, this is coming from the Emerald Order teachings. Marduk is insectoid. See? No reptilian. It's like a gray alien type of being that doesn't have any scales or snake features or dinosaur features or dragon features. It is straight up insectoid. A bug. Oh, and these necromatons are bugs too. Let me show you Necromaton, which I think I have to do a new version of a Necromaton, but I still have some Necromaton. So let me show you the Necromaton, who also, by the way, the Necromaton also make their own Illuminati factions. These beetle people. Oh, wow, that's my oldest one. I don't want to show you. I don't need to show you my oldest one. There's my latest one. Okay. They're beetle people. Even Ashana described it as looking like golden beetles. Insects. These are straight up insectoids. No reptilian. And just so you know, let me go back to the camera real quick. I just spaced out and didn't know what I was going to say, but yeah, I totally spaced out on that one. So let me go back. I'll probably think of it again. I'll start speaking it so I don't forget. Now it's not showing my Photoshop. What the F, dude? Oh my gosh, dude, it's not showing my Photoshop. So I'll close freaking Photoshop. Oh, I don't want to close OBS. So taking off Photoshop because it's not showing. Closing Photoshop. Reopening Photoshop. It might help. Something about Ashana talking about these beetle people being gold beetles, but I see what I mean. I forgot what I was gonna say about that. So let me see if it'll show Photoshop this time. What the? Oh, now it's showing it. Okay. So that's Marduk or Necromaton, and then I showed you Marduk, and then well, let's go to the time matrix since I. Okay, so these are beings. Now we're getting to the hybrids. Okay, so let me show you an example of one of these Illuminatis. Because some of them don't look completely totally human. You can see some differences in their appearance. And you will see that some of these people were actually the rulers and sitting on a throne. Especially when you got... one second here. When you got in Sumer, there's something called the Sumerian Kings List. You can look it up. Sumerian Kings List. It's a real thing. And what does the mainstream science say? Oh, they just say, oh, that's not accurate. It says that these kings ruled for 30,000 years at once. One king. 20,000, 15,000. How? How can you live that long? It's not freaking human. And the Sumerians were not human. Oh, they started off as human, angelic humans, but they was hybridized out. And let me show you what a hybrid, okay? So if we're talking ancient Sumer, and let me show you some text here from the Voyagers. Let me go to switch to PDF. Let me go to the top. This is the Voyagers, the book I showed you that's sitting next to me, but this is on the screen, the computer. And I'll look up Enlil, because I know that takes me right to where I need to go. And you'll see this timeline. And let's just choose one of these timelines. Well, actually, I wanted to see a different one, but so let me see if I can go farther. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. Okay. For example, all right, so most people say the Illuminati are from the 1700s, right? Right. Okay. So this is just not even Atlantis. This is just Sumer. Sumerian invasion, no less. What did I tell you? I said the angelic Sumerians got breeded out, conquered out. Okay? The Luciferian, because that's what they are. The Luciferian Anunnaki and Jehovah's Anunnaki and Draconian races and their Anu Melchizedeks, which is an Illuminati, legions, all raid angelic human tribe 12 settlements. See, the Sumerians were angelic humans. But then these Luciferians, these fallen angelic ETs, take over Sumer in Ur, a city called Ur, and surrounding territories, which is the Iraq-Iran area. What did I say? Is this some controversy? These Sumerians that became Iraq-Iranians are, what did I say? Not human! So, you can have people having sex with hybrids, ETs, and then it's only 25% a hybrid ET. Then you have someone have sex with that ET. Now it's only like 10% ET. You know, you got different types and levels of extraterrestrial, ancient Sumerian, ancient Akkadian, Assyrian, Babylonian, Hebrew, Jewish, Israelite, all these different hybrid aliens and generations of these people in these countries. But mixed marriages, now where are they now? Well, you go test your blood. Maybe you're like me, white skin. Maybe you're white skin or black skin. Brown skin, sorry. Red skin, yellow skin. And you go check your blood. Go check your blood, you guys, and see what you are. Okay? There's an Amazon test, at-home test. See, find out what blood you are. See, you will see that there's A positive, there's B positive, AB positive, O positive. But there's negative versions of all those. A negative, B negative, AB negative, and O negative, and a bunch of other more rare blood types. We have all these freaking blood types on planet Earth because we have more than one type of human. Many different hybrids of humans, and when you get through, you're going to be shocked how many different hybrid generations, bloodlines there are on Earth. This is a military strategy. This is spiritual bondage. Was it the PDF? Sumer, after they took over Sumer and the surrounding territories, Iraq, Iran, because they want Stargate 10. They got Stargate 10. Semyasi Luciferian. Lines, that means bloodline. Sumerian Larsa kings. So there's something called the kings is another word for Illuminati. It's another word for hybrid bloodline. It's a hybrid bloodline, and they were the ones in power. Okay, so there were the Larsa kings hybrids. And then Jehovah's bloodline hybrids were the Hassa kings and the Medianite Hyksos kings. 1, 2, 3, and 4 bloodlines so far. And then the Marduk Anunnaki and Draconians as Babylonian and Akkadian Dragon King lines. So Babylonian Dragon Kings and Akkadian Dragon Kings. So that's 2 more. And then the Tolthinki Anunnaki make Snake Brotherhood Kings, Anunnaki, Illuminati bloodlines. And the Voyagers Guardians say there's proof of this in the Larsa Kings what we call the Sumerian kings list. It's since Larsa is in Sumer, it's the Sumerian kings list. I just mentioned that these people lived for tens of thousands of years. Maybe not all of them, but some of them would rule for thousands of years. You want proof? There's freaking proof, but the mainstream scientists don't accept it. They don't accept it because it doesn't make sense to them, because they don't have no idea of the extraterrestrial freaking aspect. And that's just Sumer, dude. Okay? And if you go to, let's see, that was they listed several different lines. Okay, there was like 8 bloodlines in Sumer made. Different extraterrestrials made, right? Who were some of those? Let me see. Omicron Dragon Moth was one of those. And if you go to there's a category. The Guardians put Illuminati categories for each one of these. Remember, I told you they call them Leviathan. A Leviathan Illuminati, okay? They made Nephidim, Omicron, human Illuminatis. There's Atlas, I think that means Atlantis. Utrian bloodline, Illuminati. Italian Illuminati bloodline. Roman Remus king. Some of these we won't recognize because we run around thousands of years ago. But the Guardians are telling us what these actual names were. And they even tell you what they're made from. Like, this is Roman Remus Illuminati bloodline. And it's made between Italian and Latin. So they combined this one and this one to create a unique one, which is the Roman Remus king bloodline. And, Pharisees, Jewish Dragon King line, Hala King line, Atlantean Leviathan Illuminati lines, Dragon King Sumer, Egyptian, remember Ptolemus, Ramses, Chinese, Japanese, Germanic. You still think this is about Rockefellers and Rothschilds? I'm only listing a few. Oh, what's going on? How did it go back on? My hand hit the mouse. Sorry. What I'm trying to tell you guys, this is much, much deeper and darker and more serious than you can possibly imagine. Not to mention, it also tells you all the things these people did, man, throughout history. And you know the Chinese have the Asians have their own dragon kings. You know, they still using the word dragon. And I just showed you it's coming from freaking Atlantis and ancient Mesopotamia. This is not from the 1700s, buddy. There's much, much more. And we only listed a few. We haven't even gotten yet to the Pleiadian Semyasi. Remember, it listed the Semyasi Anunnaki, Luciferians. So let's look at where's the Pleiadians? Semyasi. Marduk, Enlil, Jehovian, Pleiadian. Okay. So they made remember, you look under this category, not the human tribe infiltration, but this category. This is what we're looking at right here. Okay, they made Brua, Atlantis, Atalan. So it's telling you where it's from. Brua is a city, is a whole area of Atlantis. So the Atalan Illuminati bloodline is an Atlantean bloodline. And Lohas is another Atlantis region. There's Brua, Lohas, and Nohasa. So Brua, Lohas, and Nohasa. If I see Nohasa, I'll highlight it for you. Lohas, Atlantis, but also the Vikings. king line. Viking line is freaking not human. Celtic, Druidic, Magi tribe raids. That what they're saying is they raided the Celtic, Druidic, Indigo Children tribes DNA to make this line, to make the Atlantean Viking line. Wow, I just noticed that for the first time. But yeah, so then we have the when they do this, that means it's Atlantean all the way through to Sumeria, Larsa kings. So it's not just Larsa kings from Sumer, they are originating farther back into Atlantis, Sumeria, okay? And there's the one I just made a video about recently, Isis Queen line. I told you, I made a video about that, dude. Okay, and you can see it visually if you want. Hyksos King is Templar, Freemason, Master Race line. So the modern day Freemasons are going back to this Hyksos line, and then the Hyksos goes back. I'll have to look at some of the other indexes to figure that out. Okay, and that was just the remember the Semyasi are the where is it? Pretty perfect humans. They're pretty perfect humans, and you saw me make that in my videos. They look gorgeous. They're beautiful, but like the Pleiadians do. But they're freaking Luciferian, man. The Semyasi, right there, Semyasi Pleiadians are Luciferian, and they live on doesn't say Abion. Well, I guess they're coming from Abion, but there's also I know they live on Nibiru too, because they're listed as coming from Nibiru. Well, their core agenda is Nibirian coalition, so yeah, they're on Nibiru. And it's these freaking pretty perfect Pleiadian Luciferian Semyasis who brought you the Greek gods. What is it? Where is it? Olympian gods of Rome and Greece. There's some of these beings in this, the Luciferians in the Galactic Fed. You got so many freaking New Agers worshiping the Galactic Federation of Light. BS, man. It ain't representing light, homies. You understand that these beings are experts in pretending to be good guys. You got Elena Danan praising the freaking Anunnaki. I've seen her book. It's about this thick. Praising and telling. It's the same thing with Zachariah Ascension, telling you that they made us. I don't think so. Transmute those false light teachings and those false prophets like Elena Danan. That so many of you New Agers love and praise and say, this is absolute truth, and have no idea, do you? You have no idea what actually you're actually making these beings stronger, bigger. You're praising these Sumerian kings, Babylonian kings, Atlantean kings, pharaohs, bloodlines, fallen angelic bloodlines, man. You're aligning with them. Some of you are them. That's why you align with them. That's why you find some coherence, resonance with them. Because you are one of these freaking hybrids, homie. You have the divine gift of free will to follow the path of chaos or the path of order, because while you're an alien hybrid, you also are half human. So you can choose with your God sovereign free will to follow another path. You don't have to go through this fallen angelic path. You can stop it. You can switch. You can change. Follow the innerchristos law of one. And awaken to your true higher consciousness. You are half human, Holy One. angelic human. You choose. What are you going to choose? What are you choosing? Wow, you guys. If there's only one donation the whole night, I won't be doing a live. There's no reason. I could make a video that reaches 600,000 people. But I got some assistance from Gina, Holy One, Star Sister. Thank you, Gina. Bless you, Gina. Woohoo! Yes! And this is why I make my lives, for people who are supporting my work, for people who actually care about my work, for people who actually are finding value in these videos. Or are you one of those people who are just watching and have no sense of exchange? Because there's some regular people like Gina who are supporting my work, who care. Thank you, Gina, for caring. Thank you for supporting this work. Bless you, sister. I can't wait to meet you at the next conference, too. I know you said you're going to go, so. Machiwa. Let me check it in chat. Let me see if there's any more. Nope. Nothing. No questions from the chat. There's not one single question for me in the chat, huh? Either someone's not on it or they're not noticing your questions, you guys. If they don't see your question, please write it in caps to Stardust Goddess or Kirsten, because they will share it with me on Instagram. Yeah, you said it, Kirsten. We're here to help transmute this false narratives, these false teachings, these false groups. You said it, Sedona. In Grand Canyon, there's Egyptian history. And it doesn't mean it's always positive. It's just showing you that there's a lot more going on in our history than most people are taught in the mainstream. Because if you're just following mainstream, you don't know jack squat. You don't actually know anything. You're just one of those schmucks who are in sleeping and being raped and pillaged by these fallen angelic narratives. Like all the religious people are being punked by these reptilians and Anunnaki. So let's look at, okay, so what we're showing here is, guys, we're under siege. So you have the humans and the ETs come here and they take human DNA and their DNA and mix it, and they create Illuminati lines, bloodlines. They're not human anymore. Those aren't human. Those are a hybrid alien. It's the same thing with reptilians doing the same thing. I could go and show you the reptilians. They're also making hybrid bloodlines. So, and we should actually count what the Voyager's books share. Let's count how many bloodlines, how many Illuminati bloodlines that they talk about. There's probably more, but the ones that they talk about that are going inside the history line of the Voyager's books. But consider that there's probably more. So let me go to the first group, which is the Necromatons, the Beetle people. I showed you their picture. Thank you, Shelley. I'll look at that too. I'm trying to sneeze. I can't sneeze. I hate that. Okay, so the Necromaton beetle people made these Illuminati lines. They made something called the Tauzan bloodline Illuminati line in Atlantis. They made something, an Asian scarab and Sadducees, Semitic, Jewish dragon kings Illuminati. See, sometimes they put it all together. Sometimes they just use the word kings. Sometimes they use the word Illuminati. Sometimes they just use the word Leviathan. But these are all the same thing. Kings, Leviathan, Illuminati. They're bloodlines. So they have two bloodlines in the Necromatons. So let's keep a track. There's two so far. The centaurs, Luciferian centaurs. They have Tauzan King. I maybe don't understand what Tauzan is, because they also have the Tauzan. So I'm going to highlight these so they're easier to see for me. Okay, so we had that. And it doesn't tell you like this one tells you what they're made of. This one tells you they're made of what the Necromaton, Andrami, beetle people, Anunnaki, king line. Andrami plus Andron, Anunnaki. Oh, so they take this and add this other hybrid Illuminati line. Holy cow, man. Look, it goes on. Actually, I wasn't seeing the whole line. Shit. It's Andromedy, Anunnaki, Atalan King hybrid, and slash, see the little slash? Bud Rama King line. That's what a Tauzan is. It's combination. Remember, see, from this parenthesis to the other parenthesis. So it's made up of a few things. Oh no. Here to here. So you have to pay attention in the back of this Voyager's book. This is the Tauzan King. And this is the Bud Rama King, which is described as Atlantean Illuminati. So there's a couple there. So there's two Centaur ones, two Necromaton ones. So we got 4 so far. And then these Illuminati lines. I didn't highlight this one. Okay, so now we're on this Illuminati lines. The Zeta Great Reticuli is the Great Aliens. Yeah, we're on the Great Aliens, Zeta Reticuli. And so they make something called Azurol. Oh, I think this is saying they have 3 different king lines. Or this means they combine 3 of these. What the crap? This is a little bit confusing, even to me, because they do this, and then they have this, what they're made of. And they're calling it Atlantean Leviathan Illuminati lines. So this could be 3 different ones, or these combined into one. But usually when they combine, they put it in parentheses. So I think this could be 3 different lines. Azurol Illuminati line, Belly Codman Illuminati line, and Atalan. It could mean that, or it could mean a combination thereof. But we also have the Larsen King, Sumerians, Osiris King, Egyptian. It tells you what it's made of. So at least in a Germanic king line. So we got these king lines. So let's say 4 or 5 more. Okay. And I don't want to take the whole night because we're getting close to the end anyways, but you'll see that I'll just highlight them, show you them. This has a lot. Okay. Omicron Illuminati lines. These are Earthlings. They were created on Earth, but they don't belong here because they're, ET hybrids. So they were, but they are here, and they made the human lizard shapeshifters called Nephidim, Dracos. So they took the Dracos and they're just called Nephidim. These are the shapeshifters that you see in our presidents. You know, some people say George Bush is a reptilian shapeshifter. Well, he would be part of the Dracos Illuminati. Okay? Looks like there's only one here, and they're from Inner Earth. Oh, isn't this interesting? Because we had Christy, one of our super soldiers, last Saturday, talked about George Bush and how he took her somewhere to Inner Earth. I thought she said that. Well, this is like telling you exactly what kind of Illuminati he is. And obviously his son, George Bush Jr. That's just one there. So the Odedicron, remember, those are the ones that look like gargoyles. They made these Illuminati lines. Okay, Nephidim, Odedicron, human hybrids, Atlantean and Greek, Akkadian, Roman, Romulus. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is insane. And then you have Marduk Illuminati lines, and then you have Marduk, Draymond, Satane Illuminati lines. Okay, and then you have Enlil, Odedicron. There's a lot of them here. Shit. Illuminati lines. And then you have Jehovah and Anunnaki. Holy cow. Look at Jehovah and Anunnaki Illuminati lines. Are you getting the picture yet, homies? And I already showed you the Semyasi ones. And then there's the Thoth Inki Illuminati lines. Okay, and that's it, right? Yeah. Okay. So the purpose of this video was just to enlighten you maybe to there's much more than just modern day Illuminati lines. And this is the Guardians sharing this knowledge. It's not channeled information, and it's based on the law of one, innerchristos, omni-love. All are God, all are sovereign, all are free. That's what these teachings are based on. Not on some savior program, not on some channeling, not on some freaking extraterrestrial gods. Okay? There is no such thing as plural gods. There's only one source God. And it is not a male or a female. It doesn't have a body or gender. It is pure consciousness. It is the alien, extraterrestrial, fallen angelics, and their Illuminati lines that brought you religions. And I showed you all the associations in the other videos. There's no time to show you all of them this time again. But you know that they've created all of these false gods, man. All of the Sumerian gods, you just saw they're extraterrestrials, and they make hybrid bloodlines. And so now you got part extraterrestrial, part human, who became the rulers, the kings, the pharaohs, the emperors, the presidents, the CEOs. They're the ones in power. Still in power since ancient days. What does that tell you? What kind of picture do you see? You still see that they've been ruling for millions of years. They're the ones in controlling societies in Lemuria, in Atlantis, in Babylon, in Sumer, Assyria, Akkad, and look at this. So I left off in Mesopotamia, right? I left off at Mesopotamia. Oh, I remember I had to go to the second one. Okay. So, not only Mesopotamia, but also all these ancient Egyptian bloodlines. And also, let me see, Knights Templar invasion, which includes Russian area, Caucasus Mountains. Man, the Centaurs were here. Also, this is where they make the main one. This was 7,500 years ago, where you get Knights Templar. This is not freaking 1700s, homies. You're way the F off. They're much more, the Templars are much, much older than what you think. And they want to, remember, they're making a super race. Hitler was trying to make a super race. What does that mean? They're making that means they're part of their blood line is not human. That's what they want. They want super races, superior races, something more than just a human. And that's what they're doing. Look, they created Luciferian super race, man. The Guardians are telling you they're not human. They're the Knights Templar, Sumerian, Larsa King, plus the Egyptian ones. They took all of these Illuminati lines, and they're trying to create a super Illuminati line. And this is where you're getting the ancestors of the Freemasons of today. The Freemasons are not humans. They're a super hybrid they're super Illuminati lines. So it went into not just the ancient Mesopotamia. It went into parts of modern day territories, ancient Egypt. They're talking about Stonehenge, England, India, Egypt, Tibet, Ionia, North America. Counterattacks, attacking us, influencing us. Hybridizing us. So they attack us, they kill us, or they hybridize us, they rape us, they pillage us, they control us, they enslave us. They did it in Maya. You'll see Mayan hybrid bloodlines. They did it in, this was in the Bible, the Babylon massacre. Oh, they didn't call it that. They call it the Babylon whatever. So we're still talking about Mesopotamia here, though. Dozer, that's ancient Egypt, including your precious galactic Fed, New Agers, ain't the good guys, homies. Oh, the Galactic Federation of Light, they're freaking Luciferians. The Dead Sea Scrolls, what are they really? What is the Emerald Tablets really? Huh? What's his name? Billy Carson? What is your freaking Tulls really based on? Okay, this is where the Dead Sea Scrolls of Israel, Jordan, Dead Sea region, destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Shit. The Hyksos invasion. Remember, I was asking, what is Hyksos? Now I understand. The Hyksos invasion. Saqqara, that's Egypt. This is in the Bible where the Jews were leaving in the Exodus. Pharaoh Tutmosis under Galactic Fed direction to invade and destroy angelic human Hebrews. Israel, tribe 2 of Israel. This goes. I'm trying to find other history periods. King Solomon's temple. You guys understand that they man, if I say this and speak it, then it could be people aren't going to like it. But it's not me saying it; it's in the books. You saw the book. They're revealing. It's revealing the Abraham lineage is not freaking human. It's a Nibirian bloodline. Your precious Bible, Christian, Jewish Bible. that people are praising, that people are subservient to. What do you do when you're doing this? You're making them bigger and stronger. You're making the phantom beings take over Earth faster. Good job. And you will hear Christian people, religious people, praising their angry God, telling their God is going to kill and judge and conquer and wipe out. This is death. This is destruction. This is fallen angelic. This is not God. This is a false AT God. That's what you're worshiping, homies. And you can agree or disagree. Most likely, a lot of people out there are going to disagree. And look what's happening. What's on Earth now? Famine. People are starving. There's wars. There's all kinds of death and killing and racism. And what is those signs of? Those are signs that you are under a spiritual bondage. What is your truth really? You're calling it truth. You're calling this the God, and Jesus is the King of Kings. But you're enslaved. You're not free. You're in negative, dark ages and times and lineages. Your bloodlines are effed up, man. You're not angelic human anymore. You're not diamond sun anymore. What are you doing with 2.5 strands? You have two, they call it the double helix DNA. You have 2 strands of DNA, or maybe 3. Maybe you got 3 strands of DNA. What the F are you? What are you? We're freaking 12 strands. What are you doing with 3 strands? Something is wrong with you. No, real. Something is wrong with you. Something's wrong with your DNA. Something's wrong with your consciousness. Something is wrong. Red flag, red flag. You don't have truth, human race. You're in spiritual bondage. You're on your knees in subservience to the lords. These are lords, man. They call themselves lords. Lord Father, Father Lord, Lord Jesus, Lord Maitreya, Lord Vader. Okay? It's the same. Anything that says Lord, it's a fallen angel. It's something to put you in subservience. What are you worshiping in your religion? What are you worshiping in your king, in your queens, in your emperors? You're clueless. When you want to tell us that we're all ascending, we're all awakening, bullshit. You have no clue. You're clueless. You're love and light and just freaking clueless. You love and light good, cluelessness not. You don't remember. Some of us remember. Some of us see. You're a fake prophet. You're a fake spiritual person. The real spiritual people, the real psychic people see you, liar, scammer. What are you? Who are you? Because we call you out. We're calling you out, homies. We're calling your religions out. We're calling your false extraterrestrial gods out. What do you got? Show us your truth. Write it in the comments, your freaking truth, and we're going to take that and with a two-handed sledgehammer, we're smashing this false paradigm, man. We're exposing your fake gods, man. What do you got? What are you going to base it on? You base it off of subservience and worshiping and putting the divine feminine? Okay? What do you got besides death and cancers and diseases and people going to war and people hating each other? What is your truth? It ain't jack. You don't got truth. This is the truth. This is the light. It ain't pretty. It's not friendly. It's not good to know that you're under warfare and most of the humans are falling. Are you getting it? Are you feeling it? And you will still get comments on these videos. Oh, the Anunnaki created us. Oh, Lord God is going to kill all of those people. You're still going to get these lost people making comments. No surprise, you guys. There's no surprise. There is 8 billion people, and most of those billions of people are lost. You ain't awakening. You're falling. You're not going in ascension. You're going to phantom earth. Creeping, falling, life after incarnate life. You're not going this way, you're going this way. You know, there is something called phantom earth. That's your timeline. That's where not all 8 billion, billions of humans are going to the phantom earth timeline. You got the guardians telling you that parallel earth fell to these people, to these beings, man. Yes, it gets emotional to see all our people falling, man. Falling for this, what are these false ET gods? We got conquered, man. We were conquered in parallel. And they got the same ploys, the same races, the same ET gods here. They fell for Jesus coming over there. The Zeta Greys, the Zeta, and the Dracos kicked your ass and ruled you. They are in martial law and expected to go into pole shift. Look what's waiting for us. When you got still people in the video comments talking from occult and New Age and religion, they have no clue. Bless you and all you who are awakening. Bless you who understand, who are becoming understanding, who are realizing the seriousness of what's going on planet Earth. And the things that I told you tonight are happening in disclosure movement. They are fighting over it. The good guys are fighting with the bad guys in the super secret space programs. That's what this is all about, man. It's going to come out in disclosure. Disclosure is happening, and some of you are awakening to the disclosure. Many are just like this. You see it in mainstream news. Religious people will deny aliens. They will deny any of this, and they will just put all of their energy into their extraterrestrial Luciferian Father God. And so they shall. Wake up in Phantom Earth in their next incarnation. And because of you and those billions of people, maybe there will be a world war. Maybe there will be a false coming of Christ. Maybe there will be a fake landing of aliens on the White House lawn. Because of you, billions of homies asleep and allowing this to happen again and again. And you're not going to apologize to those of you who told you about aliens, been telling you about UFO, been telling you about the secret space program. It just went over, and now you're a slave, just like our brothers and sisters in parallel Earth. So it was quite emotional today. I'm sorry, it's not very professional to be like that, but that is not anger. That is freaking passion. That is my passion. I just got to get that under wraps. Some people like my passion, but I'm sure it turns some of you off. But I'm not reaching everybody. Most of you are going into the phantom timeline. Some of us are going to that 5th dimensional timeline, baby. We're either going into the 4th dimensional timeline, which is inner Earth, or the 5th dimensional Tara timeline. Okay, you go into Phantom, go into Inner Earth, it's a little bit higher. Or you're going to go to 5D Tara. It depends if you have 3 strands, or 4 strands, or 5 strands. Remember, we have all kinds of humans and all kinds of different levels, all different people waking up or not waking up. Corey, thank you so much for your donation, for that. Thank you for that exchange of energy, because that's how I survive. That's how I can pay rent and feed myself. So thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Corey. And you wrote a message. And those numbers are awesome, by the way. Some of you think, and you choose those numbers. Thank you for your dedication. They're writing to me. Thank you for your dedication in educating us in the different hybrid races and the Christos freedom teachings with your awesome AI skills depicted in the Alien World series. Corey. Thank you, Corey. Bless you. Yes! Machiwa. So yeah, someone asked, thank you, Shelley. Someone asked if you can explain the 1728 me's use here. That's all they said. Just said to please explain. Okay. 1728. 1728. That is how many incarnations we all have. Some have more, but the minimum, we all have 1,728 incarnations. No, that's not the proper way to say it. Simultaneous incarnations. So you don't just die and then reincarnate into a new life. That's what Hinduism and Buddhism tells you. That's a distortion. And from everything that's happening, that's an intentional distortion. That's not how it works. That's not how consciousness and creation mechanics works. You have, every person, me, you, brother, sister, we all have 1,728 different timelines, multidimensional timelines. You exist here, but you also exist here and here and here and here and here and here right now. There's no such thing as past or future. It's happening in a different time vector, which is different frequencies, different realities. All realities operate on different frequency, particle spin, angular rotation. It's a spiritual science. That's why you can have all these different FM radio stations and AM radio stations and microwaves and gamma rays, all in the same air space, in the same space, but they're at different, their own space by frequency. Every frequency is a different space, a different reality. This is why you have different timelines and incarnations, simultaneous incarnations. You are a multidimensional being experiencing this life, but 1,728 selves in other time vectors. So you're not just limited to even just being human. You can be a Syrian, a Pleiadian, a Nibirian, a reptilian. You can be a cat person, cat people, avians, cetacean, feline, dolphin, all these different lineages. So that's what 1728 means. The Guardians call it your personal Christos. Your personal Christos is 1,728 selves. You're not just the self. You're a collective. You're a family of consciousness. We all are. Even people who aren't woke. It doesn't matter if they're waking or awake. It doesn't change the fact that they have 1,728 other selves. Even the bad guys have 1,728 selves. Some of the are in phantom, pulling the rest of their collective down, putting more weight on our collective, right? And the other question, a couple of people have mentioned they don't have PayPal and want to donate. Do you have Zelle or a way someone can donate with a debit card? Oh, if you guys didn't know that, I don't know why I have to tell you. You can just simply look on Google and it'll tell you. You don't need a PayPal account, but still use PayPal to check out and use a credit card. You go to paypal.com or you go to my donation link. It will ask you if you don't have a login, then you don't need to be a member, you guys, to use PayPal. It will still process your order like a regular merchant. If you don't understand that or don't believe me, then I'm not giving out my bank details. I'm just not. I just don't. I'm not giving out my Zelle banking details. As far as I know, right? Or is it just my phone number? Yeah, it's my phone number, right? Let me see. I think it's my email, innerchristos@gmail. So you can Zelle me. My email is innerchristos@gmail.com. innerchristos@gmail.com. Otherwise, I can't. There's nothing else to do. If you can't figure out that you can send money through PayPal without having a PayPal account. You don't need to have a PayPal account to use PayPal. So, but thank you though. Thank you for the consideration. All right, you guys. I'm not always that emotional, so not emotional. What do you call it? Passionate. I'm not always that passionate, so it will be more calm. But thank you so much for hanging with me tonight, and maybe, hopefully, learning a little bit more about the Illuminati. There's so much more than what you're being told. So much respect to all of you and your journey of awakening. And if you're interested in some of tonight's topic, check out my other videos. Start, binging my alien videos, my Anunnaki videos. I have all kinds of awakening videos. Remember, I have over 1,500 videos, so there's a lot to scroll through. So take a look, you guys. You can reach me through my, direct messages in Facebook or Instagram, or send me an email. All my information is below or on my channel profile. Thank you guys for spending time with me. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And I hope to see you guys on Saturday. I'm on every Tuesday and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, just realize I'm on Pacific Time at 6 p.m. So, and I'll be speaking in Sedona. So come see me in Sedona if you're able to come. Julia will be there. I will be there, and there's going to be other people speaking at this event. Let me see. What the? Okay. If you go to alienevent.com, alien event. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I got to put it in the browser. He has a slow moving site. It doesn't load right away. So just understand it takes 9, 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds, 12, 13, 14. What the F, dude? He must have a slow ass server. Or maybe something's wrong with my internet, but I'll check my internet. Remember, I had over 200 megabytes. No, everything's loading quickly for me, except for his site. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with my internet. So this site is pretty bad. But it's alienevent.com if you get it to work. So I don't know why it's bogged down. He must have an out of country type of server. I don't know what he's got. But I'll be in Sedona, and let me have I have the flyer. I think I should have the flyer. 1 second, guys. Chikasmasu. Maybe it's Christos avatar. Images. I got it. I got it. So let me switch to that. Oh, remember, it's not switching. It's not working. Oh my gosh, dude. Ugh. All this energy. Why it doesn't show? I don't know. It's just not showing. So but it's you guys can contact me if you're interested in meeting up in Sedona. I'll be there. Julie will be there. I'm also going to be speaking in Vegas in October, so plan ahead for that one, you guys. Plan for a trip in October. It's not just for me. It's other people you may be interested in too. Speaking disclosure, alien disclosure, biomed technologies, UFO disclosure. Some of these people are from Ancient Alien show. So we got Tom Althouse, the writer of The Matrix. We have Brad Olson, the guy who went to Antarctica. He's talking about the secret Nazi bases. I mean, there's some heavy hitters, and I can't wait to see you guys in Vegas or Sedona. Bless you guys. Thank you for being here with me. Much respect to all of you. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you, guys. You guys did an awesome job. Stardust Goddess, Kirsten, Indigo Gal, and Celine. Bless you, ladies. And I still plan on doing a private, personal event in September in Sedona too. We're just still putting all of it together, but thank you, Stardust. Bless you too, sister. Thank you for having you, and thank you guys for keeping the chat clean. I'll see you guys soon. Machiwa. Omni Christos love. Blessings to all of you. Yeah.